But what it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women going bad.
You gonna flip the script on us?
Yeah, it's the women done going bad.
You a woman yourself.
I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now.
They don't care no more.
That's when the men don't respect them. That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give a man respect to get respect.
Granny know what she's talking
Granny
about.
know exactly what she's talking about, and Granny is unfortunately the last of a dying breed. Sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sad, isn't it? It's a simple principle. It's so many simple principles that we have just overlooked when it comes to this man-woman thing. Doesn't even matter what race you are. You know, we're so disrespectful of one another as men and women. We call each other our names. We just find ways to just disrespect. And this is not just on the internet. People just, oh, y'all stay on the internet too much. Y'all need to go touch your grass. No, this is the real things, because you can tell somebody who doesn't know. Because we done sat down with hundreds of couples, literally hundreds of couples, all races, and the same themes that are talked about on these platforms are the same things that we see all the time. So you can miss me with all that. It's just the internet stuff. No, this is real. This is real life.
You want to know where it goes down? Go to Walmart. You ever seen? Have you seen the stuff that goes down in Walmart?
That's why I don't go there, man. I don't deal. I like curbside. I try to stay out of Walmart.
I mean, it goes in the middle of the aisle. You like, oh my, y'all doing all this right here?
Well, you know I love my police
Walmart.
interactions. Most of the best police interactions happen at Walmart. It does.
I believe it.
It's usually with like a couple or something like that.
Go to Walmart in the late evening for real though, and
Yeah.
see. You'll see.
Yeah. I don't think there's such thing as a high-end Walmart. Like, I don't think it's such thing. I think they're all, it doesn't matter where you go, they're all kind of the same. People just congregate there.
But it really does.
Yeah,
like,
that's some disrespectful stuff they go out at Walmart.
like,
Yeah.
dang, they doing that right there in the aisle. I need to actually I need the sugar right there.
But
Dang.
I ain't gonna ask you to move.
Nope, I'm gonna come back around. I'm gonna circle back around. Let me go get my milk.
Chitty chitty bang bang up in here. But back to what Granny was saying, she's right.
Yeah.
She's right. She said the women done gone bad, and that's a very unpopular conversation.
Better not say that out
And
here.
I will say, as a man, I met my fair share of no good ninjas. I've met my fair share of them. But at the end of the day, we're in this thing together.
Yeah.
And it is impossible for men to continue being no good if they aren't doing things with no good women. The math is simple. And people don't like to hear that. People, oh, you this, you that. I'm gonna call you some kind of ist and this, and you hate women. Nope, I absolutely don't. I love women. I love every woman in my life is loved and protected. And they all know that. That goes from my co-workers that are female all the way down to my sisters, my wife, my daughter. Any woman that's in my presence is under my protection. That's the way I see it. But my protection comes with a lot of accountability. So you don't get to act a fool in front of me and put me in bad situations. Don't tell me that I don't understand or know women. I know. I've done the work. I know them. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of young ladies out here who do not know how to be women.
No, they don't. They're
They
not
don't know
being
how to
taught
respect
it.
men.
No.
Communicate with us.
No, they're not being taught it. It's not required anymore. It's show up as a wonder, and then everyone else needs to bow to you, and you get to change the script anytime you want, and everyone else needs to just cater to you, and that's what's being taught. And you can be feminine, you can be masculine, you can be feminine and masculine. It doesn't matter. You just be who you want to be and how you want to be, and everyone else has to be okay with that. And what we're saying on this platform, and you're hearing it across other platforms, is that it's actually not okay. That it's not the right way that we need to be conducting ourselves in society. But we're seeing this disseminated in mass via social media engine and all the other things. And when you're seeing this content so much, you think that this is how it's supposed to be, or this is how it just is. And what we're saying is it doesn't have to remain that way. We can make changes, we can do better. But I hate watching clips of like on OWN and the little black ink and the housewives of this. The women have on so much caked up makeup, weaves down to their behind, breasts all out, and they're pretty dudes. They're so masculine. They're so hard. They're so whatever, and it's not who I want my daughter to watch and emulate and become. Because when you act like a whole dude, you also get treated like a whole dude, and you don't get the protection and the provision that feminine women get. And that's what we're saying. It's against our biology, but we're bucking against that because we hate what we are.
I think that's what Granny trying to say also.
Yeah.
Is that you're not requiring things from these men.
Yes.
And there's a lot of, like on the flip of that, there's a lot of men that still sleeping with these women. And they're still
That's the problem.
putting babies in them, and it's even though it is a smaller percentage of them, and you can do the research on that. I'm not going to do all that here, but it is absolutely a small percentage of men who are putting the babies in these women and who are still messing with those type of women. Because at the end of the day, most men that are good men, they prefer a more traditional woman. That's what we are. That's how it always has been. And so just because those women get to play, and because there's a media engine behind this thing, a lot of these young ladies think that that's what we want. That's what we sleep with. That's not what we want for a wife. I've had a beautiful feminine wife for the last 20-some years of my life, and I wouldn't trade her for the world. And I'm telling you right now.
I love you, sweet boy.
I love you too, babe. If I were to wake up tomorrow single, I would not date again. If I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
We've had these conversations.
Man, yeah, and people think I'm joking when I say that.
No,
Look,
he's
man,
serious.
I'm dead serious, bro. Because I ain't got time for it. I'm a grown man. I do grown man things. And I do not play around with the person that's going to be with me that's going to carry my last name. There's requirements attached to that, and there's a certain way you got to act. And I'm looking out there, and I don't see that on the horizon anywhere. And I'm prepared, if I have to walk the rest of his life alone before I deal with that at all. I won't do it. And I have friends I know whose wives who either passed away or they somehow end up in divorce or something like that, and they're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. So it really is.
Because peace is priceless.
You can't put a
Peace is priceless.
You cannot put a price tag on it. Because I've been in times in life where I didn't have it, and sometimes my only sanctuary was my house.
Yeah.
Because
literally.
my life was in so much turmoil in my career or within my extended family. My house was the only place I could find some peace. And imagine if that was taken away. And that's a lot of men do that. They go to.
That's why they dwelling on the rooftop. That's what the words say. They dwelling on the rooftop or in a corner of the house because they're trying to get away.
Yep.
We got a dude on our street. I'm pointing this way, but out on our street, he'll be when we go walk the dog. He be sitting in his car.
Yeah.
My man be in the car with he be listening to some good old school music in the car, sitting there like this.
Or the garage.
Or in the garage.
Or the garage. It be hot.
Hot. We in Texas.
It is hot. He be in the garage, little fan on him, trying to get some peace. Trying to get some peace.
That's sad.
In a beautiful home.
We got our next door neighbor. He gonna be in that yard. In his yard, watering our flowers and stuff. We don't need you to water our stuff. We got our. But he gonna be outside the house.
Trying to find a way to get away.
We done met the wife. We know.
See, look at you. You being messy.
Huh?
See,
we don't know who they. Yeah, he ain't watching. Go ahead.
You don't never know.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
He don't know. We ain't say the name.
So, and I think what Granny was trying to tell her, she's got to name her, I guess her grandchild was Amber. She's trying to give her some game. And I want to show you a video of a young lady who should know better, but doesn't know better. She just now learned this simple principle. So check this video out right here.
All he wanted was respect. And when I got into a relationship after that with a man that I respected at the time, I realized the difference. I realized how that man operated when I was giving him that respect, when I was making him feel so manly, and I was, I was letting him lead, and I was listening to him, and I wasn't undermining him. I wasn't emasculating him. It made a huge difference in my relationship. And it took Jen on one of our episodes a while ago, season 1, to actually break that down and say that men prefer respect over love.
If you listen to her talk now, I have seen her on other platforms. She's a pretty combative girl. Yeah. And the problem with it, she's just now getting it. This woman ain't no spring chicken right here. She's just now getting that men prefer respect over love. And we equate respect with love. And those simple little principles, like we talked about in the video, a video before, or maybe after this one, I can't remember, but how, women are taught, what to expect from a man, but never taught how to treat a man. It's a simple principle. It's a very simple thing. You can't come at a man like another man and expect to get a good outcome.
It's simple, but it's not being taught. And in that same video, you were asking me, like, how young were you when you were being given this false information about men, or being told just one bad angle of it. It's not being taught. It's not. It's not. It's taught to be in competition with men and how to protect yourself from men, but in large, this isn't being taught. That's why it's so foreign, and that's why women in their 40s are just figuring out something that should have been instilled in them when they were little girls. but it is not in our community. It is not being taught, and that's why.
I don't think it's been taught in many communities at all. I mean,
yeah,
you can use us
I
as
can
an
only
example,
speak to ours, but
yeah,
it's
also
just not.
young men aren't taught how to hold their partners accountable. They're not taught how to be, because they're being raised typically by their mothers, and because of a lot of different factors. We've talked about them in other videos, but they're not being really taught how to engage with the woman properly outside of the bedroom, outside of you getting your emotions and doing something stupid or saying something stupid or calling out her name. They're not really taught how to ride the tide of a woman's emotions. And now I believe that the masculine is order and feminine is chaos. And chaos isn't a bad thing, but chaos has to be contained. And that container is masculinity. And most men do not know how to do that. They don't know how to, they're ill-equipped to deal with it, and they just either act out or walk away.
That's my favorite saying of yours, because it's so true. And as a very feminine woman, and who can be quite chaotic at times, I'm continue. I appreciate the container of masculinity because I absolutely need it, and that's where the divide happens. Is because now to teach a woman to tap into her feminine identity is to degrade her and demean her, and that's not the truth. That is the opposite. Your superpower is your femininity if you really understand how it works and you understand your own nature. But the problem here is this: most of us don't understand our own nature as women, and then we definitely for sure don't understand the nature of a man because we don't take the time to sit, study, and understand and learn. And it's not being taught to us. We're just going through life, doing whatever we want. We see something shiny. Oh, we see that man grinding and working hard, not understanding what that driven man is going through. And so we're trying to compete with what he's doing. And then we become a whole dude in trying to do that, and we lose ourselves in the process.
Yep.
So we don't understand our identity, and we don't understand yours. So I think people need to stop, reflect, and actually gain some education on how the female nature is, how the masculine nature is, and really grow into that. But to do that,
I thought it was a good video. I love the fact that there are people having these conversations. A lot of people get frustrated with it, but I think these young people are trying to figure it out.
They're trying.
And why would we not help them? Why would we as older people not help them? I don't want a young man that had to struggle like I had to struggle early in our marriage to figure things out.
Or a young woman that not know
absolutely
what being a feminine woman even looks like.
There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. There's no such thing as a perfect partner. So why wouldn't we give people game? And I think that's something that older people really need to look at, is stop being selfish.
Stop being selfish.
Because just because you made it or you live on a whatever, you think you got 3,000 square foot house and 2 cars and everything's fine. Not everybody's living that way.
Nope.
And it's incumbent upon us to put wisdom out there. So with that, that's enough said.